Hey guys, it's me. I'm back. We're in month 2. If you missed month 1, go do month 1 first, or do month 2. It's fine either way. But so this is a series. If you missed the last one, this is a series of gym workouts for the month. And I put together a little workout for you this month, and you can get that at the link below. I'm doing a total transformation program that's going to match and supplement these workouts. So that's nutrition, that's movement, that's at-home workouts if you don't feel like going to the gym, that's mind, body, spirit practices, and so much more. So join the waitlist. If you haven't already, join the waitlist. And so for today, we've got a lot of goodies. For today, we're gonna go over everything that's on this plan, and I'm going to give you how to do everything and why we're doing everything. And so let's go ahead and get started. All right, my friend, let's start with day 1. Before we start with day 1, let me just break down these workouts. We're using the Bosu this month, and we're using stability balls. We're just kind of challenging your balance centers and getting a little bit more core activation stabilizer muscles in there. So let's get into day 1. Day 1 is leg press and Bosu jumps. Let me go over some important tips about the leg press. This leg press machine that I'm using here is like the most awkward leg press I've ever seen in my life. But leg press is a leg press. So when you get on your leg press, if you're a beginner, I want you to get comfortable with the safeties first. And then when you're doing your leg press, something to keep in mind is torque. We talked about torque last month. I'm gonna reiterate, get your knees spun out. Make sure that you're using and driving through your feet and not your knees. And with the leg press, make sure that the back portion is at a height so that you get enough range of motion. If you're shorter like I am and you put this thing too far back, your leg press sled is just gonna stop way too early. So make sure you got the back and the right portion. Also, make sure that you're going at a tempo that challenges you. We don't want to just, slide this thing around, and you definitely don't want to lock your knees out. So be mindful of that. Nice and slow, controlled movement. If it feels too easy, it is too easy. So add enough weight so that you're challenged by about the 10th to 12th rep. We don't necessarily need to hit failure, but we do, however, want to challenge ourselves. We follow that immediately with Bosu jumps. Okay, we got our Bosu here. So Bosu jumps, 1 foot is on the ball, 1 foot is off. You're gonna pounce up and land in a squat, okay? You're gonna use some power and some speed. This is essentially like a plyometric 1-leg squat, okay? Keep your eyes straight ahead. Use stability and control, abs in tight. Next, we've got lat pull, and we're doing wide lat pull. As you can see from our calendar, on the lat work, row 2, the lat work this week, we're gonna be using some of the cable stations. We're gonna be using the cable stations a decent amount this month. So lat pull wide, where's a completely different portion of your back than a lat pull narrow. And that's all based off of this attachment here. So the wide lat pull is getting more of the lats out here, okay? And that gives a really nice shape. If you're wanting to shape up your back, but also get strong in your posture, this is great for postural alignment and getting our shoulders out of the way that we normally have it all day. This really does help your posture. Getting some wide lat pulls. So wide lat pull followed by a Bosu Plank. So here we got our Bosu, we just had it. So keep carrying that Bosu with you around the gym. And I know that might be an inconvenience, but that's what we're doing this month, okay? So wide lat pull is, I'm gonna set my weights, I like 40, okay? I like 40 pounds. 40 pounds just feels right for me. It's enough where I'm challenged, but I also add muscle very easy. And I don't want you worrying about bulking up. However, I know some of us, we add muscle very easy. I'm one of those people. So I like to keep it around 40 pounds because otherwise I start to look like I'm just throwing weights around all day. And we're not too worried about looks. Like again, we're doing this primarily for our health and fitness. However, aesthetics, it matters. I consider wide to be right where the sandpaper part, the textured part of the lat bar, my pointer finger is on that portion. I don't ever take it this wide. It does not feel productive to me. It's a little bit too much on my shoulder, so I like my fingers right about there. Pull down, and look, the lat pull, this is a really important point with the lat pull. We don't ever need to pull back like that. We want to keep our spine nice and straight. We want to stay in alignment. And we're pulling down using our mind-muscle connection, okay? And then the next thing we're doing is Bosu Planks. We're gonna go straight from our lat pulls to our Bosu high plank. The Bosu high plank, it's right here. And we're not just gonna hang out here and just stay still. We're gonna tilt one side and the other to show you head on. We're in a nice high plank. We're doing one side and the other. One side and the other. Okay, next, assisted Nordic curls. So assisted Nordic curls, this is all hamstring work. I like to hook on to a lat pull, and I like to use the lat bar. So I take the lat bar down and I use this. If they have a dowel rod at your gym, use that also. They have some right over there, but for the sake of just, you might not have a dowel rod available at your gym, you can also use this lat pull bar. So what I'm doing is engaging my core, getting my spine nice and straight. My feet are flexed, toes not pointed, feet flexed, and we're using our hamstring to resist gravity. We're using this to kind of help out. So we're not leaning too much into this. We're just using this to kind of help out. Once you feel some tension in your hamstring, and I feel it right about there, I'm gonna pull back. And I'm using that bar a lot to pull back. I'm actually using that quite a bit. The hard part of this exercise is on the way down. So 3, 2, 1, you're trying really hard with your hamstrings to not let your body collapse forward, and you're very light on your hands on leaning on that bar, okay? So that's assisted Nordic hamstring curls. Following those Nordic ham curls, we're doing kick throughs. So kick throughs, hands are on the ground, and we're going right away from a tabletop position, kick through. And depending on your fitness level, you can keep it just like this, a nice slow pace, or you can kind of kick it up and really get some cardio in there. And that's going to be different depending on your fitness level. Next exercise is a Bosu push-up. I'm going to give you some variations on this. So if you're a beginner, I want you to try to do your Bosu push-ups. You can do some of these with your knees on the ground. And then I want you to try, just like we did last month, you lower yourself down even if it's just like half an inch, and you do as many as you can that way. Try both ways. So for the intermediates, and the advanced individuals, I want you to try for as many as you can to do explosive Bosu push-ups. So that means as you come up, you explode up, but on that explosive movement, we absorb back down. So we never want to stop at the top with our elbows locked out. We want to come up and then lower back down. We're nice and soft in the elbows and the shoulders on the way down. We're like absorbing that plyometric instead of popping it up at the top and keeping it straight. So try those, and if you don't like those, just regular old push-ups. And when you push up at the top, we're tilting. If you're not doing the plyos, I want you to tilt again just like we did before, but we're adding that push-up and tilting. Getting that dynamic core work in. Okay guys, so next we're gonna do some cable kickbacks. And not everybody's got ankle cuffs on the ready, so I'm gonna show you what I do if they don't have an ankle cuff at my gym. And to be honest, I kinda like this version better. So I take the handle from the cable station, pop that on there, and then I put my foot into that handle so that my toe is down on the floor, and that handle is right in the middle of my foot, right where my arch is. And then sometimes your cable station might have handles, that's great. This one does not. So I'm gonna grab onto the bar, make sure that your cable station is safe for that, because sometimes they'll have it where some stuff is moving here. You like always keep yourself safe. And so then I'm bending over, I'm kind of hinging at the hip, not hinging all the way, I'm just hinging enough so that I've got a nice stable position. And now I'm gonna reach my foot back, and what we're not doing is we're not kicking up like this. Once we kick up like this, we get the lower back in there. So we're just going enough so that we can feel it right here. Mind muscle connection, feeling it right there. Okay. And then we're gonna do 15 of those. We've got 15 or 20 of those. Then right away, same leg, don't switch legs. You're gonna do body weight reverse lunges. If you're a beginner, body weight reverse lunges. If you're intermediate to advanced, grab some 5s, some 10s, maybe even some 15s on the same leg. And we're doing 15 to 20 of these, depending on how you're feeling. And we're doing that on each, that's called the superset. We're doing that superset on each leg 3 times. That's a glute burner. That's gonna kill ya in a good way. And just like we did last month, we're gonna end day 1 with our treadmill tabata. I'm a huge fan of these tabatas, and for those of you who are new to the series, tabata is where you go really hard for 20 seconds, really easy for 10, really hard for 20, really easy for 10. So when you're on that treadmill, crank that bad boy up, get the incline up, get sprinting, get moving, make sure that you're doing it in a safe way, always, but get those tabatas in. Okay, day 2. Day 2, we're starting with split squats followed by a kettlebell swing. I want to go over split squats. Say split squats 10 times fast. I want to go over split squats with you really quick. So split squats is something you can do. You might be lucky enough to have a gym that has a split squat little pad. It's like a round looking hamstring curl pad. It's just sitting right there. That's so nice. However, you probably don't. Most gyms don't have that. So in that case, we put our foot up on the bench. And let me go ahead and pop my foot up on the bench. And make sure that you feel comfortable. So don't use any weights. Do your first set without any weights. Just do a couple reps without any weights to make sure you feel comfy. Okay, and then once you got the groove of it, my foot is far enough so that I'm not feeling anything in my knee. I'm only feeling this in this front glute and hamstring, okay? And make sure that the knee is out, not collapsing in. And then once you feel comfortable, grab your dumbbells and enjoy the split squat. The split squat is nice because with a regular squat, sometimes some of us have some tightness in the hips that kind of restricts our motion. So you might find that you like a split squat better than a regular squat this month. And you might just get more out of that exercise. So you can also see when I come down, that back foot is pretty much resting with the top of my foot flat on the bench. Okay, and then immediately when you're done with both legs, going into a kettlebell swing. To reiterate on the kettlebell swing, the swing is no arms. My arms aren't doing anything. This is all hip action. This is all momentum coming from the hip. So you shouldn't feel any strain in your shoulders. Your arms aren't doing anything. That's all hip work. Get your knees out. Don't let them collapse in. Get that hip action and really use your hips to drive that kettlebell up. Okay, next set, we're doing cable rows with a Swiss ball knee tuck. So I want to show you cable rows for a second and just talk about what we're doing in the cable row, why we're doing it, some really important things that you need to keep in mind, some common mistakes with the cable row. So a lot of people get to the cable row and there's maybe the wrong attachment on here, for instance. So if there's ever an attachment you don't like, don't be shy, go grab the correct attachment. I like 2 different attachments. The main one that I like for a cable row is this guy right here. Alternatively, there's another one that's really good and it's this guy right here. So either one of these 2 attachments is great for a cable row, okay? Today I'm kind of feeling this guy. So I'm gonna go with him. And each attachment does something different, like we talked about before. And so with the cable row, we take our position, we get our shoulders back and away from our ears. So it's very important with the cable row, because a lot of people, they hang out in the kyphosis and the kyphotic posture with their shoulders rolled forward all day long. And then they're doing the rows like this. No, you got to get your shoulders back and away from your ears, get them down, and then we pull, okay? And we're pulling right to about underneath the chest. Exhale as you pull in, always. And when you're releasing, this is my last little cue for you. When you're releasing, we don't just let it flop forward. You know, we're doing it with control. We're not doing any of this. You see a lot of people doing lots of this, you know, using their body weight and momentum. Nuh-uh. We're slow and controlled, precise, and using intention and mind-muscle connection. And then immediately we're going into the Swiss ball knee tucks. Let me show you the Swiss ball knee tucks really quick. These you probably have seen before. Just like a lot of the stuff in this video, you've probably seen this before, but you haven't had it broken down by me. So let me break this down for you. A Swiss ball knee tuck. Hands are on the ground. Feet are on the ball, and when you tuck in, it depends on where you have this ball on your leg. The higher up it is, the easier this is gonna be. So I want you to try to just get the tops of your feet on there, roll it in, keep your hips in a nice straight line with your body, and we're in a little egg shape. And then we're going back. Something I see a lot with the knee tucks is kind of going through the motions, and you're not really getting, you're getting a lot of hip flexor, you know, but you're not getting much for core. So you're almost like levitating, okay? So that's knee tucks on the Swiss ball. Okay, next we're doing sliding hamstring curls and some glute power-ups. So usually your gym will have some kind of sliding surface station. This is a lot of the times it's the squat rack or the studio area. And I always bring these with me to the gym, always. Because you never know, you might want to bust a move and get some sliders in there. Okay, so keep your hips up, keep everything nice and tight. And for the intermediates and the advanced, I want you to lift one leg and do as many as you can that way. I've got all the numbers and reps and everything on the printout. Following the hamstring curls with glute power-ups. So glute power-ups is, you're in a kind of semi-tabletop position, your hips are up off the ground, and you're gonna, 1, 2. You're using your glute to really power your whole body up. And we're keeping the knees bent so that we don't topple over, so that we don't get toppled over. And you do 20 of those. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way to 20. Stability ball push-up is your feet are on the ball. And I want the beginners, you can place the ball kind of underneath your knees, and you're gonna give me a push-up. And I want the intermediates and the advanced, you're gonna move this sucker so that it's basically just your toes. Your toes can be dug into the ball or the tops of your feet. And we're doing controlled movements. We're going down with control, and we're going up with control. And that is so much core stabilization. It's gonna really get those abs for you. We're gonna follow that with stability ball bridges. Stability ball bridges, you're on the ground, feet are dug into the halfway mark of the ball or a little bit closer, heads on the floor, palms are facing up, thumbs are out, and you're gonna squeeze up with the glutes. Okay, if you're a beginner, keep both feet on the ball. Intermediates and advanced, lift one leg up, just like that. Okay, next on day 3, we got sumo deadlifts and traveling jumps. With the sumo deadlift, we're putting our feet a little bit wider than hip width. We're getting our shoulders back, chest is up, looking straight ahead, and we're gonna lower down and up. What I don't like doing with the sumo deadlift, pretty much any deadlift, I don't like using these Olympic plates. Let me show you. These Olympic plates are too big. So when you use an Olympic plate for a sumo deadlift or any deadlift, if you're like me, 5'4", I'm 5'4.25". When I use a big old Olympic plate and I'm doing a deadlift of any kind, including a sumo deadlift, what happens is I get right about here and it's like, it's not enough range of motion. So I like to use those black plates, and I'll go as heavy as maybe 25 on each side, maybe 35. Sometimes if I'm feeling jazzy, I'll throw a 45 on there. That's up to you. And then follow that with traveling jumps. So traveling jumps, it's a half burpee, down, and then jumping forward, down, jumping back, down, jumping forward, down, jumping back. Next set for day number 3. We've got inverted rows. We're gonna go ahead and come underneath our TRX. I like to get my hips up, and then we're lowering down and pulling up. And when we lower down, we're switching our hand position to whatever feels organic and natural, and that usually means that your palms are gonna be facing away from you, and as you come up, your palms are gonna be facing your body. So, and really squeezing at the top, okay? And then immediately following that with a Bosu low plank. Plank on your forearms, you guys know plank on your forearms. But now we're gonna add in Bosu element, and we're gonna kind of create clockwise and counterclockwise motion with a Bosu. Clockwise and counterclockwise. Keep your hips up. Don't let your hips sag. Lateral band walks and band jumps. You want the band above your knees. A really common mistake that I see with the lateral band walks is knees caving in. So we're doing knees caved in and kind of pushing the band out with the wrong muscles. So activate torque, get your knees out, push against the knees. We gotta push against the knees the entire time because that's kind of what we're aiming for. And you'll even notice when you activate your knees and get your knees out, you'll notice it's a totally different sensation. And another thing, if you're wanting a bonus, lower it down a little bit, put your hands behind your back, get your shoulders away from your ears. And that's a different sensation than standing upright, right? So when you're standing upright, great, that's still gonna work your glutes. However, when you get down into that squat position, pushing against the knees, activating torque, then you've got the right muscles firing. Okay, and then we're immediately gonna follow those with band jumps. We did band jumps last month, we're gonna do them again this month. So we're gonna squat down and pop it up. From the side, we're gonna squat down, pop it up. You're getting me in the middle of editing this video, and I realized that I forgot to show 2 different exercises. I forgot two demos, so I'm gonna show you. You're gonna get me like this twice. I'm currently editing. I'm editing it the morning that I'm posting it, and I'm like, oh, I forgot to show you. So isometric push-ups is the first thing I forgot. Isometric push-ups, you get in a push-up position, okay? And you're gonna go down, hold it, 1, 2, and up. You can hold it for a second or 2, and then pushing up. But the key is that you're just basically giving a pause at the bottom there. If you're a beginner, you can do those isometric push-ups off your knees. So you can lower down 1, 2, 3, and push up. And intermediates and advanced, get your knees off the ground, and 1, 2, 3, push up. Okay, last set on day 3, fire hydrants and kickbacks. Fire hydrants, you might have seen these done a million times, but I just want to add some really important notes. So with the fire hydrants, we're in tabletop position. We've got 90, 90, 90. We're gonna raise our leg up, and we're gonna use mind-muscle connection to get this whole complex, the whole hip complex activated, okay? And you're holding and pausing at the top. So I see a lot of people kind of going through the motions, flinging their thigh around and hoping for the best. But when we put our mind to our muscle and we're using deliberate intent and we're holding it at the top for a minute, then that's when you get stuff popping, my friend. So use mind-muscle connection, pause at the top briefly, and then down. And then we're gonna do that followed by kickbacks. So you're gonna do your full set of hydrants on the same leg. You're gonna go into kickbacks. With kickbacks, we're pushing against the ceiling with our heel, okay? Just like that. Last thing on day 3 is the heavy rope tabata. We went over last month, but I just wanna show you a new move that I meant to show you last month that I didn't. So straight on is 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off. Then we're gonna do 20 seconds on of this, side to side, 10 seconds off. And then we're gonna do both ropes, slam down, 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off. Then we're gonna do really high up, really high. Go really high as you can, 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off. Finish it up with burpees. Go back, 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off. You'll be toasted. Then day 3 will be done. All right, we got our accessory days now, day 1 and 2. Day 1 is core and cardio. Core and cardio, as you can see from the printout, it's a series of cardio and then abs. Cardio, abs, cardio, abs. So high bird dog, I'm gonna go over these real quick. And I wanted to design this so that you don't have to go to the gym on accessory day 1 and 2, okay? So you can do all these at home. High bird dog. High bird dog is high plank, and then you're gonna lift opposite arm, opposite leg, alternating. Okay, and then you're gonna follow that with cross climbers. So we've got a high plank position. We're gonna bring our knees in. We did cross climbers last month, and I love these for abs. So knees point to the left elbow for 10, and then to the right elbow for 10, so on for 1 minute. Following that right away with V-ups. So V-ups, we're gonna reach back, and then we're gonna tap for the feet. You may or may not touch the feet, doesn't so much matter. What matters is what you're feeling here, okay? Next, burpees. You know burpees. You're gonna make me show you? I'll show you really quick. Jumping up, okay? Burpees. Then we got a walking plank. With a walking plank, up, up, down, down for 1 minute, followed by the half get up and jump squat. So that means hands behind your head. You're gonna get up, down, up, and squat jump. Down, up. You're gonna do 1 time on each leg, and then you're gonna squat. Down, and jump it up. You got 4 rounds of that, my friend. Okay, accessory day 2, body weight squats and a high bird dog. And yes, we got high bird dog for the accessory days. I really like that, working that same exercise so that we can really get that down pat and mastered. Body weight squats, real simple, real easy. Let's not complicate things. Toes are pointed. I like to point my toes out slightly because the crest of our hips, they do point out slightly, especially for women. So toes point out just slightly, and we're just gonna squat down. Single leg glute bridge. So with your single leg glute bridge, this is great for doing at home because it's challenging. So get both of your feet on the ground initially so that you can just feel into the movement, and just do a couple reps with both feet on the ground. And notice the pelvis. So our pelvis is tilting backwards on the way down, and then towards your face on the way up. That motion down and back, up and towards your face, okay? And we're gonna do, once you get the hang of that, we're then gonna do just a 1 leg glute bridge. Get your hands on the ground, thumbs pointed out to get out of kyphosis, okay? And then switching sides. If you're a beginner, you can alternate. You can do left, right, left. If you're intermediate or advanced, go ahead and just do 1 leg at a time. Awkward interlude, number 2 in the video. Excuse this, but I have to show you ankle taps. I put ankle taps on the sheet and I didn't demo it. So let's go into ankle taps. Ankle taps are, you're probably gonna look a little bit like me. You'll be in your comfy clothes, and you're going to move your dog aside, and you're gonna come down, and you're gonna tap your ankles. You're gonna come up into on your seat, on your glutes, and you're gonna tap your ankles. Come back and tap the ankles. Back and tap the ankles. Followed by fire hydrants. We just went over those. Fire hydrants. And again, fire hydrants, we lift out. And then we follow the fire hydrants. We're doing 25 on each leg. We're following that with knee to elbow. So we've got the left knee to left elbow, right elbow back. And we're gonna alternate. And we're doing a total of 20. So we're doing 10 on each side. All right, guys, that's month 2 in the can. You got this. This is nothing but net. So let me know how you like it. Let me know how it goes. If you're any of the people who have been posting in the last month's workout, big shout out to all the lovely people keeping up on posting threads and letting us know how you're doing. Keep that going. Share this with your friends. Let's get this popping. Also, if you don't like gym workouts, I've got some at-home workouts coming for you in my new program. So you can go to the link below and join the waitlist for the Total Transformation Academy. And that's gonna have workouts, cooking lessons, spiritual practices, mind-body stuff, so much more. Join the waitlist for that and you'll get a discount when it does come out. All right, guys, have fun this month, enjoy the process, and I'll see you soon. Bye.